What's up, everyone? I'm Gunpla Goof and we're back at the bench. Today, I'm stepping it up to my first high grade build. Up until now, I've only built entry grade kits, so this is my first real move into the next level. More parts, more steps, and definitely a little more thinking involved. This build took longer than the previous ones, but I stuck with it and finished it. That alone felt like a win. This video is a bit longer than my past builds, but that's simply because the process itself was longer and more detailed. I'll let parts of the footage run on their own throughout the video, but I want to talk through what stood out to me as a beginner jumping into high grade for the first time. One of the first things I noticed right away was the difference in the runners compared to entry grade. The plastic felt a bit sturdier and the nubs were definitely thicker. Because of that, I had to slow myself down and be more cautious when removing parts. With entry grade, I felt comfortable moving pretty quickly, but here I really paid attention to where I was cutting and how close I was getting to the part. I didn't run into any major issues, but it was a good reminder that as the kits level up, the margin for error gets smaller. Taking my time here made a big difference. The most difficult part of this build by far was the stickers. These were much smaller than what I had dealt with on the previous entry grade kit, and they had to be placed in very tight spaces. Getting them off of the tweezers and into the correct spot was tricky, especially since they were self-adhesive and basically a one-shot placement. Once they touched the plastic, that was it. No easy adjustments. I didn't place every sticker perfectly, and that's something I'm still learning to accept as a part of the process. This has been a reoccurring challenge for me since the entry grade kit, and it's something I know I'll run into moving forward. It's frustrating, but it's also something that I know is going to be a part of learning the hobby, and it's something that I can work on moving forward. For nub cleanup, I leaned heavily on my glass file, and honestly, it worked perfectly. This tool made a huge difference compared to just clipping and moving on. Most of the nubs came off cleanly, and the parts looked noticeably better once they were assembled. This was one of those moments where I really felt like I was starting to use my tools more intentionally instead of just rushing to finish. As a beginner, it was reassuring to see that good tools and patience actually pays off. Overall, the build process itself felt familiar, just more involved. The engineering made sense, the pieces fit together well, and nothing felt frustrating or poorly designed. There was simply more parts, more steps, and more moments where I had to double check the instructions before moving forward. From start to finish, the build took me about 4 hours, which is by far the longest I've spent on a kit so far. Even with that, it never felt overwhelming, just more immersive. It felt like a natural step rather than a massive jump. Now there's definitely one thing I've been rethinking after this build, and that's the gloves. I've worn them during all of my previous builds, but during this one, they felt more distracting than helpful. The gloves kept getting caught on pieces as they came together, and even though it hasn't happened yet, I'm genuinely worried about getting a part of the glove stuck inside a joint or a seam. Going forward, I don't think I'll be using the gloves for future builds. I'd rather focus on control and feel, especially as the kits become more complex. It really felt like I hit a milestone after I finished up this build. It confirmed that I'm ready to keep moving forward, slowly, carefully, and with a lot of learning along the way. There were challenges, there were small imperfections, but I completed it. And that's what really matters to me most right now. If you're new to Gunpla like I am, this felt like a very approachable next step after entry grade. More time, more detailed, but still enjoyable and rewarding. I'll be looking forward to my real grade build next. Thanks for following along with this build. More kits are coming, more lessons are ahead, and as always, from entry grade to perfect grade, learning as I go.